World AIDS Day is celebrated every year on the 1st of December, and that's going to be a topic today on Focus on Health. We're going to have Daktari joining us, but even before Daktari talks about World AIDS Day, let us hear what the panelist has to say. But first, here now, the feature of the day.
HIV continues to be a major global public health issue. However, with increasing access to effective HIV prevention, diagnosis, treatment and care, including for opportunistic infections, HIV infection has become a manageable chronic health condition, enabling people living with HIV to lead long and healthy lives.
And that was a very informative feature of the day. World AIDS Day celebrated every year on the 1st of December, and that's our topic today on Focus on Health. With me on set is a panel, and we're going to be discussing about World AIDS Day. Welcome to Focus on Health.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Wacuka Njoroge.
Okay.
I teach in Department of Medical Laboratory Science.
Thank you very much. Kindly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you so much, Michelle. My name is Adolph Ochieng, the 4th year class rep, Medical Laboratory Science.
Okay, thank you. It's a pleasure. So, Dr. I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about the World AIDS Day. What exactly does it entail, or rather, what is its significance in the society?
The World AIDS Day was the first day to focus on health. It started in 1988, 32 years ago. People thought, because of the pandemic, let us have one day where we focus. We think about testing, we think about stigmatization, we think about everything to do with HIV/AIDS, and see whether that will turn the focus to focus on AIDS and how we can fight the scourge.
Okay, let's go to Adolph. You know that HIV is more prevalent among the youth. So tell us, how do you translate knowledge into information and information into behavioral change when it comes to HIV transmission among the youth?
Thank you so much for your question. I would like to admit that the youths have got the knowledge and most of them, they have got the information. The problem is the transformation of this information into behavioral change.
Okay.
The youths do not prefer taking the preventive measures because of they have the fears of not enjoying their sexual activities.
Okay, so why do they fear that? Why do they think that they will not enjoy it with the precaution measures?
Most of them are being affected by peer pressure of their fellow friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they basically want to fit in or something?
They want to fit in in the groups of their friends.
So as a youth, would you prefer putting yourself at risk instead of just taking these precaution measures instead?
In the kind of relationships the youth are having today, they will prefer enjoying the sexual pleasure without using a condom, so as to satisfy their relationship.
Okay.
Whereby their girlfriends are under pressure with their boyfriends for them to show kind of seriousness in their relationship. They have to have unprotected sex.
Okay. Dr. Would you say that that the World AIDS Day actually has an impact in the society, or rather has it been put out there? There's a lot of awareness on it.
There's been a lot of awareness since the World AIDS Day started. For example, in Kenya, the prevalence rates have actually fallen significantly. There was a time 10 years ago when prevalence rates were 10.6%. Now they are 5%, so they've decreased by half. A lot of people are going for testing. The people are not stigmatized as they used to be. There was a time if you had HIV/AIDS, people would shun you, you could even lose your job. Things were really bad, and funerals, if somebody died of HIV/AIDS, they would be wrapped up in plastic. The kind of thing that's happening right now for COVID testing, it was happening for HIV/AIDS. Where people are scared.
Yeah, sure.
But these days, people are aware. They eat with people who are HIV positive and don't stigmatize them as much. There is stigma, but not the way it used to be. Yes. So a lot has happened.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll go back to Adolph. You've mentioned that men, or rather even the females, fear that they will not enjoy sex without, with the condom. So tell us about how to create impact in these men or even the female, but let's focus on the men. How do we empower them to actually, now take caution or rather take care of themselves?
The men can be empowered through education in the society.
Okay.
And putting up setups which are friendly to men. Most of them here opening up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Daktari, we have PrEP, and I think this would also touch on Adolph a little bit. So Adolph, you mentioned something about men and even, maybe the women, they're afraid of, not enjoying the sexual intercourse when they use condoms and everything. So tell us about how do we, impact these men in order to actually take care of themselves and take precaution.
They need to be educated, education awareness
Okay.
with the men, and set up training centers which are friendly to the men.
Okay. Do you think that would be effective because they already have the information but they're still not doing it?
Yeah, it will be effective because most men fear opening up. But if we set up these educational centers
Okay.
which are friendly and from where they can open up freely, then they will translate into action in the society.
Okay. So thank you very much.
I have a question, Adolph. What if this information was given at the churches? Would that help? Or it wouldn't?
In the churches, I don't know, you Adolph, tell us.
The information that is given in the churches. In the churches, we don't only have men.
Okay.
It's like we have children. We have women in the churches too. So I think I'm still standing the point of having
Educational centers, yeah.
Friendly.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't want to feel as if you've been told don't do this. You actually want to feel as if you're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Dr. Let's talk about PrEP, and I think even adults can answer a little bit on that. We have teenagers who decide they're not going to use condoms, so they're going to use PrEP and assume that it's going to actually, prevent them from contracting HIV and AIDS. How true is that?
It's very true, and I'm genuinely concerned about the way young people are using medicines. Young people are using medicines like they are popping sweets, not thinking that medicines have side effects.
Yeah, sure.
And I think the general message should be use condoms, use barrier methods. And condoms are fairly cheap. They are found at the counter. I think people feel embarrassed to buy condoms, to talk about it, and they're worried more about enjoying one-time pleasure. And we need to somehow spread the message that use the barrier method. Use abstinence. If you can't use abstinence, use the barrier method. And don't use medicines that have not been prescribed to you by anybody.
Yeah, sure.
Because they are going to harm you later on. And people are not aware of the dangers. And that, I think, is a big problem.
Okay. Adolph, do you have anything to add on the PrEP? What is your take on PrEP among the teenagers?
I would like to admit that the youths indeed are preferring to take PrEP so that they can go for sex without protection.
Yeah, sure.
But that's not that much right,
Okay.
because it's not prescribed. Yeah. So I would wish that there are some standards put before one will access the drugs, the PrEP drugs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, let's go to the importance of early testing. Why should you, go for early testing?
Oh, I love this topic because I trained as a medical laboratory technologist, and I believe knowledge is power.
Okay.
Information is power. And I actually approve of the fact that everybody should be tested prior having sex with another human being. So whoever is going to be your partner, now you go, you test the two of you so that you know what you are getting yourselves into.
Yeah, sure.
Because once you test positive, these days with the proper treatment, you will live a fulfilled life. I have some of my friends and relatives who tested positive when they were in their 20s, and now they are in their 60s, and they are living a fulfilled life.
Okay.
but you have to know so that you seek medical attention immediately.
Okay.
So actually the testing is readily available, and people should just take advantage of the readily available facilities that are there in Kenya.
Okay.
We are doing very well, by the way, when it comes to testing in Kenya. You don't have to tell your spouse, but it is advisable to do so, so that you protect whoever your sexual partner is.
Okay.
So it's important for you to be tested. It's important for your sexual partner to be tested.
Yeah, sure.
And you find a way so that you share the results amongst yourselves.
Okay. Okay,
So
thank
when
you.
you find out you're positive, you then don't keep quiet and constantly infect
Yeah, sure.
your sexual partner because of fear.
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you very much, Daktari. So that is all the time we had for today. It's been quite an interactive session. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take a slight commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be hearing from Daktari on the World AIDS Day. I will leave you with the Did You Know segment.
This day is celebrated to raise awareness on AIDS and its causes and to mourn victims who died from this deadly disease.